position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the home of the USC Trojans, the storied Los Angeles Coliseum. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the USC Trojans. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Get us underway with the opening kickoff. On the move from inside his spot. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. They'll give it to the back. Nifty run there. Pick up a 6 out through the 25. Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are, guys.
And the intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time and late in the season.
And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. Smith takes the handoff. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football, create balance, and right here just choose up another first down, gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it, and right now he's doing some damage on this defense.
Catch in the middle, it's Smith.
Well, the short passing game is a great go-to for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play. So this can certainly open things up later.
Handoff from the gun. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Man, I really love the way this guy looks when he's toting the rock. You think about all the high school kids out there who dream about one day donning a USC jersey and being the starting running back for the Trojans. There's so much competition, not just in the state of California, but nationally, to come to this school and be the guy, to be RB1. He's on the field for a reason. This guy is unique. He's got speed and vision. What a weapon.
Tried to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there.
We're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical, they're too fast, and they force a negative play.
The Trojans have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Back to pass. Dumps it to the back. Snagged in the middle. It's Johnson. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. And how about taking a big chunk out of this defense on the opening drive?
And And with the speed they have on the perimeter, Reese, no doubt, they want to come out here and test this secondary, test these DBs, and they know they've got the QB with the arm talent to get the ball there. That's a great start for this offense.
In the red area, it's Smith. Heading to the end zone, and he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Trojans.
And they talked about it this week with us. They talked about wanting to start this football game fast. Nothing like taking the opening possession, using your script to your advantage, and then getting closer and exerting your physicality, running the football in, off to a hot start for this offense.
This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Give to the running back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Moore to the air. Grabbed in the middle. It's Stewart. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
Right back up top on 2nd and 10. This one's complete.
The thing I like about this slot receiver, he's really intentional in his route running. The quarterback always knows exactly where he's going to be on the field. They've got great chemistry.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up with the pass. Quickly complete. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses too, right? It's not just D-linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
What a nice run there. And from the beginning of time, Michigan football has been synonymous with running the football. You can think back to Tyrone Wheatley, Anthony Thomas, Chris Perry, Hassan Haskins, big physical runners that also had sprinter speed and that could change the game. This dude right here, every time he has the football, he has the ability to go the distance, and that's what makes this Michigan offense so dangerous.
And he's brought down after a nice game.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Blasted as he lets it go. And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Wolverines.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. They'll run it from the gun. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Pulls and fires complete. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
They're trying to throw the wide receiver screen to pick up that first down, but the defense just too much speed getting to the ball carrier on that one.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Running back searching for a hole. Powers through the defender. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. Entertaining first quarter, and we are all locked up after one as we take a quick look at some stats. We've got a good one going here, and looking forward to keep those vibes rolling here in the second. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Moore will throw. Got it in the middle, it's Porter. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28.
Nice job by the quarterback, pre-snap and post-snap. He knew the defense was going to be playing zone coverage, and there was no doubt in his mind where he was going with that football.
Now on first down from the 28. Wide receiver going in motion. The corners are walked up tight. Wants to throw on first down. Not quite in rhythm there. Incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Knocked down after a 3-yard gain to the 25.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. Touchdown, Michigan! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. Rushes on him. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
This time on target. They'll spot the ball at the 34 as he goes out of bounds right there.
And that's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
And the Trojans come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. Wants to adjust the pattern. They'll try to get the first through the air. Grab near the sticks. It's Johnson. They get him out of bounds. Couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling.
I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a first down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
On the move at the 30. Sprinting away. Touchdown, USC. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. You're not going to keep the lid on this guy forever. Sooner or later, he's going to get loose.
He is. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I mean, this dude can make plays. That's why you keep feeding it to him, because at some point, he's going to break it loose and make a huge play.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Finds just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. Guys, here come those maize and blue wing helmets on offense. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you got to find somebody that can make a play to create something. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Moore to the air. Discards him with the stiff arm. And he's still running after the move. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
It's complete to the right. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Gives it on the option. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Gets the back moving. Back to pass on 2nd down. Flushed out of the pocket. It'll be incomplete. Trying to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
Well, that ball landed incomplete. You saw the quarterback's speed, and you saw how big of an asset that is for this offense. There was a good pass rush, but he was easily able to avoid the defenders and at least give himself an opportunity to complete that throw.
Snags it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines.
Man, I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Got it in the middle. It's Johnson. Look out! Inside the and he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Southern Cal!
Man, football, there is so many weapons now with small slots and big wide receivers. And then you got the tight ends now. They have the speed to catch the football, chew up ground, and get to the end zone and make those big plays like he did right here.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Finds his man. It's Simmons. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down. The Wolverines come to the line in the hurry-up. Looking for room. It's Ford. It's a runs like that that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Wolverines with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Moore will throw. Picked off. What a play to set him up.
So what defensive players don't always see where the ball is. They see the receiver and they get to chasing. But really good job seeing where the receiver is, going and making an interception, making a big play, getting the ball back to your offense.
To the air on first down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Smith. Grabs a touchdown, saving tackle at the 17.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
The Trojans are threatening in the red zone. Wide receiver comes in motion. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Well, they're going RPO. Nice job handing it off, and really good vision there, just getting what he can get, right? Puts his foot in the ground, gets forward, helps this offense find positive yards.
Clock still running, almost certainly the last play of the half. Got it, looking for the first down. And he couldn't quite get to the marker, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. Just a few seconds to go here in the first half, and they'll send out the field goal team. It is true as he puts 3 on the board. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He gets a block. He's got an alley. They finally make the stop, and he almost ran that baby all the way into the locker room. What a way to end the first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Trojans will kick it away to crank up the second half. The returner will field it and try to set up his offense in great field position. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They start this third quarter, one-possession game, and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready.
Turning it on! Got enough for the first down. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Man, that's excellent blocking there on the left side of the line. They were able to get great push, get off the line, create a little bit of crease for that running back.
They just created a wall. He had all kinds of room to run.
I'm going to go back to that one and call that one again. It worked so well.
Right back to the well.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Moore to the air. Throws to the wideout. It's picked off, and that's number 10. Trying to take it back. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there.
And what a great job by the defense that time. Cover 1, man coverage, and you see how everybody was impressed. When you press receivers, you disrupt their timing. You get your hands on them at the line of scrimmage, you jam them, and it completely disrupts the quarterback and his thought process, and that time, that was a big reason that ball got INT.
Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
And I love that play call. There's a great example of sudden change situation, right? Your defense gets the turnover. You get it right back. The very first play, let's be aggressive. Let's take a shot and see if we can catch the defense napping. Boy, oh boy, did that.
Got some room, headed for the goal line. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
And the offense continues to run the football. The second rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes. Continue to feed this man the ball.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Michigan State notched a victory in enemy territory, and though it wasn't a dominant win, I'd argue any win away from East Lansing is worth its weight in gold to the Spartans. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still 2 quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Hey, Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Looking downfield on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Stewart. And he picks up the first down, but he will remember the price he paid after that hit. They gave themselves room to operate with that first play. Now first down from the 37. Moore will throw. He's got his man across the middle. Speeding down the left side. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7. The Wolverines want to crank the tempo. Defense in press coverage. Looking to throw. A little screen to the running back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, the defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
Lost to throw again. Line out trying to get it in. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done
turn around and just give it to this guy who just has a nose for the end zone. He's able to find the crease and pay it off for his offense.
And with the extra point, they draw closer. It's 31-28. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. The lead has been sliced to a field goal, and now they'll try to answer. Out of the gun, the give to the back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Great play by the defense there, getting the tackle for loss. But on offense, your mindset has to be, we need to be the more physical team here in the second half. We've got the lead, third quarter. We want to run the ball. We've got to have more success getting our blocks and moving forward if we're going to win this game.
And he'll go out of bounds, and this aerial attack just continues to carve this defense into tiny slices. The offense getting set for a first down from the 45. The give to the running back from the shotgun. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Offense tries to go RPO and hand off to the running back, but how about the defense up front? They're just too stout. They're not getting moved anywhere, and they're able to make a big-time play.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. The give is to Smith. Creates a little space. There he goes. The tap. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Trojan.
Man, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. And he can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners when he kicked it in gear and got the long touchdown.
Lining up for the PAT. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And that is how you finish with a 54-yard touchdown run. On the run from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. They are trailing by 10 here, Jesse, but this is the type of team that seems comfortable in an offensive shootout.
You got to hold serve at this point, right? You got to drive the field, put some more points up on the board. Yeah, they just scored. You can answer that now and keep this thing close, man.
And I think you're used to that as offense. Like, football is so fast-paced now and you score so quickly, it's not that big of a deal to get down 10. You keep being aggressive.
Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Sends it back in motion. Moore to the air. On target over the middle. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46.
This is a shootout. Both offenses up and down the field. They're generating explosive plays. It feels like which team has the ball last may win, but give the quarterback a lot of credit that time because, again, he saw a beautiful look to take a shot into, and he throws an absolute dime.
Secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. Wants to go up top on first down. The short hands, it's Thomas. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit, and let's keep going.
Wants to throw it. Grab near the marker. It's Thomas. First and goal. And the Wolverines want to move quickly. This quarterback part of their running game. And he gets it back to the 4-yard line and no farther.
The defense really gets it. They understand what's going on. The quarterback is a threat to run the football. I have to understand that. It changes the way I play defense. Am I going to have more speed on the field? Whatever I do, I got to make sure I do what they did right there. Focus.
Touchdown, Wolverines! They wanted to finish, and that they did on that possession.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And he splits the uprights on the extra point. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Going right to work up top. He'll try to do it himself. Breaks into the open. And he gets out of there and gets some yardage and gets down without taking any punishment.
Nice job by the QB. Sit back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off, and slide. I love the slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
They'll go to the toss. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line.
And this D needs more of that, man. This is a really close football game, and you got to get these stops down the stretch and meet the physical challenge of this offense, and they do right there, man. And that's one step closer to getting this football back and maybe making this thing a football game.
They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. Here comes the fourth. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the catch. It's Smith. He's got first down yardage as they move it to the 44.
And you just get the feeling that this defense has to find a way to get off the field and get the football back at this juncture of the game, trailing late if they're going to win.
The Trojans are flying down the field. They'll go to the ground. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead. The offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
The offense changing the play. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
We know about this running back's versatility, and he's made some plays in this game so far, catching the ball. That time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. They're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
All right, this quarterback is going to have to start playing with a clock going off in his head. He knows he cannot hold on to the football too long with players like that getting after him.
And the Trojans will try to pin them back with the punt. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. Fields the punt and tries to find an opening. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. So here comes the Michigan offense. They're in a precarious spot here, that lofty perch in the rankings, hanging in the balance unless they can do something to save themselves here. Fires to the tight end. Still running at the 40. Just gash rushing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just nowhere to run, not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Moore will throw. He uncorks one deep. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a third down.
This offense isn't calling the dogs off in this game. We're here late. They're still taking shots, and a big reason why is how good this quarterback has been all game long. 4 touchdown passes. He's reading the defense. He's playing in rhythm. He's throwing on time. He's been accurate, and late in the game, they're still letting him take shots.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Catch in the middle, it's 4. Offenses gain momentum with third down conversions like that. They've got it at the 25. The Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll move the wide receiver. Corners right up on that line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Stewart. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. And the Wolverines can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. They'll leave it with him. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own, and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
On third and short, they'll try to convert through the air. Finds his target down the middle. Touchdown, Michigan! They've got the lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, and a nice job in the fourth quarter making plays, and a nice job being on the same page. QB, receiver. You could tell he broke with the football. He caught it in stride, gets into the end zone. Nice pitch and catch right there. Nice chemistry by the QB and wide receiver.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
They've been talking about this one all week inside the MAC, guys. Let's give you a quick recap of how it went down. Ball State looked less like a flock of Cardinals and more like a group of road warriors in a solid victory. This team almost always plays tough in Muncie, and today they found a way outside of Schumann Stadium. A busy day in the MAC, and an outcome that figures to shuffle the deck there as we send it back to you.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out. With the catch, it's Smith. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down.
Nice job by the running back catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. Did a nice job on it.
Wants to throw on first down. Right down the middle. A strike downfield. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered. An explosive play to the 40.
If I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
Smith takes the handoff. He's in open space downfield.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Trojans can really attack on this second and short.
42 spy
The give to the back. Finds a little space. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
They're down to the 20, 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Grabbed behind the line, it's Johnson. And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time.
Defense not fooled there in a 2-minute situation. This offense trying to go quick game, trying to catch some blocks to see if they can spring that guy, but the defensive pursuit just too good on that one.
And the Trojans now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. Might be changing the route. Wants to fire on 2nd down. And the incomplete pass was just too hot to handle.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right there. He's not putting his team in a bad spot, and that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
Off play action. Starting to feel a little pressure. Fires toward the end zone. Touchdown USC! And they've moved out front here in the 4th.
What a great job by this offense. And listen, I judge offenses by what they do in the clutch. In those big moments and right before the half, in the 4th quarter, late in the game, just like right here, you need a score. You got to go take the lead. They do everything they can. Now, defense, you're up. I need you to get me a stop.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. No chance to return that one. A booming kickoff out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Moore to the air. Here comes the heat. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
That might be the nail in the coffin, fellas. This offense, they're trying to get back in the game. You're having to be aggressive. You're now going to have to start taking chances. An errant throw ends up in the hands of the defense, and I think that's all she wrote.
They'll run it to the right side. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
They'll move the tight end. The give is to Smith. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
I don't know, man. If I'm on defense here and I'm watching the way my D-line's getting manhandled, I might have to put more guys in the box. I might have to sacrifice the safety and try to get more hats close to the line of scrimmage to slow this running back down, because the RPO game's been a problem.
Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw 2 really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, 2 really good teams. And that's a reason why they're both ranked. They're both really good, and I tell you what, Getting this win proves something to everyone else now. Like, I was ranked below this squad. You beat a team that's ranked above you. Now you start to climb up the charts, build some momentum. This squad's about to get some more respect, Ballmer.
I think good teams find ways to win games, especially in a game like this. Two ranked opponents, evenly matched. Who's going to be able to make the plays when it matters the most? You got to give this team credit. This is a big win. It's impressive, and now they get to move up the rankings.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis.